Hey guys, here in the shop, gonna work on a little bit of owl carving. Just trying to get all my camera stuff right. You see, I got this stick of wood here. It's leaning one way. This is gonna be his chest. You see, I kind of started that, just knocked it in. Cut was pretty much his face is gonna be right here, and then his wing. So the first thing I do when I start an owl is I go in here about that deep and I kind of slope that for the brow line, and then you kind of establish, round off the shapes for the head, and then you define where the eye feathers, the feathers below the eye are going to be, and you define the beak, and then you go in and start to shape in for the wing. Alright, so you can kind of already see the shape of the back of the head and that other wing developing. And just keep removing wood and going back and forth and looking at it. Once we get centered in about where the beak's going to be, that kind of tells us where everything's going to go. Now in there you see where his chest is. I sort of make a little notch just to kind of define that range. That's going to be a lot lower eventually. Right now I just want to remove up under the head. This is the side of the other wing. See, it's starting to get that shape going. Now the wing is going to come down. You can make your owls short or tall. It's not really that important. There's already the shape. You can see I already got the shape going. Not looking too bad. That's your basic shape. Tail feathers comes down to a point. Head looking this way. I'm going to do the eye wells now. So if you guys have stuck with me this long in the video, you'll notice that I'm going slow and I'm not doing a lot of editing and cutting because I want you guys to see everything and I want to explain it properly and I want to give you the full detail that I can, give you the best perspective that I can. So that's what's really going on here. If you've stuck around for this long, you're in it 6-7 minutes, you might as well just stay in it and finish it and go on to the next part. May help you, it may not. May be a waste of your time, who knows. That's up to you. I'm leaving everything 100%, 110% up to you. That extra 10%, take that and take that from the 90 of effort that you've put into your whole carving career at this point. Just kind of pick and poke here and there. There's no rules. You make up your own rules. Do it your way. This is just showing you guys kind of an easy way to do it. You see it's all set there. When you're doing owls, you saw I just kind of lightly, everything was light. Still leave a lot to work with. You make the feet down about in here somewhere. So now we're going to get into more defining of the feet, more defining of the wing features, the chest, maybe the toes, things like that, and start shaping in the base. So that's what you'll see going on right now. You're going to see me, I'm going to come in here under the wing, probably cut about here for the feet, come back in here, make a nice V, straight line down, cut up and under. That's more your defining points of the shape of an owl, and that's pretty much your shape of your owl. It's a very simple, basic shape. A lot of people enjoy doing these and learning these. Now I'm working this just on one side. You can turn it every time you make a cut here and there. I'm only working it on one side, so you see that. You see the profile. See, I did not go in very far here. I just went in a little bit in with the chest line. We're going to cut that. It's a very nice, basic, nice shape. Kind of a reverse teardrop. If you look at the whole thing, it's like a reverse teardrop. Now that's just the rough cut for the chest line. We're going to shape that chest more as we go. The chest usually is a nice round shape before you do the wings. Before I do the wings anyway, I define the chest. And now as I'm coming down here, I'm gonna come down and then back out a little bit just for where that foot's gonna be, because there's feathers around the feet usually. Just that little bottom part, I started to go back out a little. And it's just kind of, you know, kind of feeling it out. I'm looking at how even the wings are. Usually if the head's pointed that way, this wing's going to be a little bit higher. So there we kind of rounded off that other shoulder where it's going to be. We have our wings defined now about where they're going to start. We're going to see here as I come around. See here a lot more. Back where we were, there we have our shape. You see where the wing's going to come out, so I follow that. I work right off of that little line where the wing, you see that line that I made with the saw, and the wing goes back and in. And you guys, when you watch my carving style, I go in light. I'm not moving it to make it cut better or faster. I'm moving it to kind of widen the cut and kind of just feel out where my saw wants to be. Even here, you can give a line here. A little bit of a light line just to kind of define where the sides of the eyes. Now, I will do this so that I don't go past that when I'm shaping the head, if that makes sense. I'm gonna shape the head off this line so I don't cut into here. Everything behind here will be worked on. And now that we're looking at the back of the owl, usually the shoulder line, I start up about where the back of the head turns, and here on the same thing, about where the front of the head is, and make a V. And you want to shape that. You see I didn't do just a straight cut. I did kind of an S shape. The S shape is a pretty good shape to use when you're carving. If you have what's sort of a straight line, you use an S and then it gives it more life and detail. You guys see that I'm cutting slow and I'm cutting small amounts. I like to give them a little tail feather. You don't have to. You could have the wing come all the way down and just split it off and just show the little peak of the tail, but I like to show the actual tail. It may not be correct. I haven't really done the research on it. You can do it either way. guys see, I'm using the side of the saw a lot. I'm just kind of getting comfortable with it and pulling it up, pushing it in, even this kind of thing. You know, do a lot of these sideways cuts, like in here. Now see my tail? I want to have a shadow line there. I want to make the wing a little bit fatter than the tail. Now before you go cutting this off, that's where you want to turn the owl, and you want to figure out where the feet are going to go before you get up in here and remove that part. Alright, so we turn our owl a little bit. Now we will define the feet. You see this wing's a little bit higher than this one. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I can take some more out here as I go and shape it more. But right now I want to know where my feet are. And I just draw in the toes. I mean, I could make a toe here. I'm probably going to put one here. And I can even, because I want the base to be curved, I can curve first. Just a little bit, very lightly. Very light. That now you can kind of see. And I'm just going to draw them in. Now, anatomically, an owl's feet, they have 4, and this one usually can go back a little bit. A lot of guys will do 2 toes. I like 3 toes. I try to push the outside toe back a little further because this toe would be on an owl. It would be more over here. They do that. They have that so they can really grip things. But you know, it's artwork too, so it doesn't have to be a perfect thing if you're not doing it by a book. Now, and you see here, this toe sticks out more than this. I want this toe back eventually. I'm just drawing them in right now. You make that foot round. The middle toe sticks out farther than these two do. That's my rule. You don't have to follow that rule, but it's a good rule to follow. And even for the shape of the foot, you see how I'm looking for the toes as I'm doing this. So this toe's going to be way over here. And there again, this toe sticks out. These toes stick out a little, so I'm going to as I work it, I'm going to do what I call walking them back and slowly carve away in between the toes so the toes actually stick out. But first off, we're going to work on that other wing and get it shaped, get that wood out of the way. I like to always remove wood that doesn't need to be there, and see, as I'm spinning it around, I see it looks right. It all looks like it's connected to one thing. It looks like it's part of his posture and his, like I keep saying, his attitude. So again, we're going to round the wing. Now you want to be careful down here. You want to stay below your tail before you decide to cut that top of the tail out. You see how that works there? It's coming out okay. I hope you guys can see all right. Just erase that line. We don't need it anymore because we're going to start working the base now. You see the base is kind of getting that shape to it. And just here, when you make that cut, make sure that you stay below, all the way through, that you stay below that line of that wing. So here's the end of my video for this part. This is part one. Owl. Getting the shape and form locked in. Owl perspectives, p.o.v, carving. A different perspective and less annoying music. Actually no music so far compared to the original videos. The only reason I leave those up is because people still seem to keep watching them. If you've stuck with me this long, you're in for a treat. This will be a good series to watch. And we will be doing a time lapse of this whole process into one video. Once I get this whole series knocked out, that's the first stage. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll keep going here. You see here we have a feathered and detailed. The eyes are done, the beaks are done, and I'm going over different tools. This is going to be what you're going to see in the next steps of series. How I actually get these looks, how I actually do these techniques, and hope you guys keep following along. If you've stuck with me this long, you might as well just keep watching. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.